Coach, first day spring ball, how much have you been looking forward to it, and what's you see from the guys?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it was an awesome winter. Coach Nico and his staff did a tremendous job for the 2 months, and had great buy-in from our guys there in the wintertime. So to be able to put a ball down and watch these guys fly around, it was fun to see. Obviously for me is how are they helping each other? I saw that today. I didn't see many guys on the ground. That's one thing you always look at. So guys were staying up. We're competing at a high level. A lot of new faces out here today, so I'm trying to take a double check, like, who's number 11 or whatever, I'm trying to figure out who these guys are wearing the new numbers, but it was really good to see, and then, obviously there's some new coaches out here, so to watch those guys go out here and coach and, see the defense fly around, making some plays. So, I think overall it's fun. It's great to be out here. We had a couple recruits in today, and this is a total normal day for Cincinnati in March, 75 and sunny. So we're excited to see the great weather today as well. But I think overall it was a great day.
Is it a sign of how much things have changed? In spring, it used to be there was, maybe 5-10 new faces, and you walk out here and there's 30 now?
Yeah, close to 30 new faces. That's the new era of college football. And and our guys did a great job of evaluating the type of kid that we wanted to bring into the program, and that's evident over the last 2 months. And then come out here and watch them actually run around. I'm excited now to go back and watch the film and see, who really made the plays today and who did some great things out there today. So, it's completely from where we are right now compared to last year, night and day. When you think about the guys that we had out here, particularly offensively and a wide receiver last year at this time, and what we have now. A lot of returning guys on offense, a lot of guys that we brought in the program that can help us. They've really gelled well, I think, over the last 2 months. And then defensively, I don't know how many, we got a ton of new defensive players over there. So with a new defensive scheme. So, you're looking at a lot of things that happen over there. But, it's a completely different team. And, I'm excited about where we are after day one.
Got to stick with the obvious, but what goals have you set for the QB room, I think, as we approach spring ball?
Well, a couple new guys in that room. So for them, it's like, this is their first time hearing these plays, going live against an opponent there in our defense. And, it's one thing to get on a board in here and write up the plays. They know those plays, but to come out here and have to get the signal, have to communicate that, and then actually snap the ball and run the play, it's a little bit different. But I thought he made some really good throws today. I thought Sorsby hit a couple of nice deep balls there for touchdowns. Samaj did some good things for being new, but Lichty went out there, and I thought he was very solid today as well. Drogosh looked good. It's really just going to be a great competition out of those guys in that QB room. But I think they're great human beings. They're trying to make each other better, and that's what we want in this program. And so, again, that's going to be a great competition all spring.
I know you were probably busy, but have you had a chance to watch Jason Kelsey's retirement speech yet? And either way, what does he mean to be a representative of this program?
Yeah, I didn't. I heard about it, and then I clicked on a couple of clips. Just a few of them, minute and a half. Well, number one is he's an emotional guy, and that's the way he played. He played with great emotion. He played with great heart. And, that's what we want our players to play like, and to be like. I think everything that he ever has done in his career. And he talked about, how he's just so passionate about it, and he goes all out in it. And I feel like everything that he's done in his professional career, he's had tremendous amount of success. Tremendous. And I also talked to our players about it's not how you start, it's how you finish. He was a walk-on player here and turned himself into what he is today, which is a Hall of Famer in the NFL. And, he embodies exactly what we're looking for in our players. And we, want to continue to try to find guys like that. That's the kind of guys we are. Of course, I think everybody is trying to find those guys, But he makes us all proud, and the way he handles himself and the way he played. So, it's a bittersweet day, I think, for everybody to see him finish up, but also finish up on top like he did was great.
Jason, you thanked Coach Combs. What's it like to have Coach Combs in this program, just knowing that he's had the impact for so long, even going back then to now?
Yeah, that's awesome. I think we all as coaches, it's why we get into this profession, to impact young people and to have a positive impact on young people. And I think, it's great for Jason to be able to, I saw a couple of minutes, but to go back and thank all of the people that helped him get to where he is, because I think sometimes we, as young people, we feel like we're going to get there on our own, and that's not the case. It takes a lot of people to get you where you want to get to in your life, to have success, and for him to acknowledge those people, I think was awesome. Coach Combs obviously has an impact on his life, and he's still having a great impact today and right here as a Bearcat, which is great.
What are the biggest things you and your staffs have looked for coming off of this first week of spring ball? Usually getting that spring break period to go over the tape fully in depth, and then what are kind of the biggest things you're trying to see from your team in that first few practices?
Well, like I said, a lot of new guys out here, so we're trying to figure out what they can do, what they can't do, those type things. Putting a new defense in, trying to get better offensively, figuring out ways. A big emphasis for us will be in spring will be red zone third down. We got to get better there. We all know that. The first 2 days are just helmets, so we're out here. You can't really get a true feel because you don't have any pads on yet. So I think the first 3 days, get everybody acclimated to spring practice. Learn what we're trying to do in these first 3 days. They'll get a break over the spring break, and then we'll come back and then we'll start really gearing up and hopefully they got a good foundation underneath them about what we're trying to get accomplished out in spring.
What have been your biggest takeaways from the early enrollees that you brought in? Smosh Jones, Joe Woodburn, Jakari Anderson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think number one, they're all really bought in and willing to work, and they come in here from day one. It was a hard winter program, and they got introduced right off the bat to that, and they didn't miss a beat. They came in and worked extremely hard. I think they're competitors. Samaj in the weight room this winter, I think he did 225 like 17 times. That's a true freshman doing that. I was blown away by that. So he's like a linebacker. Kale can run. Today Kale ran by at least 3 or 4 times. He's wide open behind the defense, so we know he can run. I saw Dakar make a great contested catch right over the middle here. So we love being around them. I think they're great kids. We love being around them. They work their tails off. And then it's good to see them come out here and make some plays too. So Samaj had a nice throw out there on a deep out, in that last little 11-on-11 period. So they all got talent. They all got great character. So it's fun. It's fun to work with those type players.
How much of a difference has it made having a full cycle coming into spring ball compared to last year?
Tremendous difference. We're able to bring in, because you get a full year to recruit, right? And then we have our recruit staff in place, and we get to really identify what we want to bring in the portal, and so they did a great job. Close to 30 new players that have come in here. On top of the leadership that we brought back off last year, what a world of difference. It's night and day from where we are today right now compared to, a year ago.
When you look at the group that you brought in, how close do you think you are physically to kind of getting up to speed with this conference? I thought that was something that
I think, as freshmen, I think that's hard to look at those guys because that's what I think, it's going to take a little bit of time for the freshmen to develop, really mentally and physically, all the aspects. And now some are far along the other. But yeah, 17 transfers we brought in. We brought in a lot of guys I think compete. We brought them in to compete. That was the hope, but also great individuals. That was one thing that we looked at is like what kind of, what do they have right here? What kind of people are they? So, but yeah, the Joe Royers, the Stokes, the Canteens. There's the Miller, McConnell. There's some really good players that's going to help us this year. There's no question about it. 2 running backs, Chance and Evan. Both of those guys going to help. So yeah, all our guys did a great job of bringing some guys in that's going to help us compete for the Big 12 championship. Yep.
One more for Coach.
It's not going to happen instantly. How long do you think it takes to take a roster and really get it like all the way where you want?
I think it takes, I think realistically it takes about 3 years. I really do. I think we're like I said, much further along compared to a year ago this time. But you got some good young players. You got to think in another couple of years, those guys are going to be really developed and really going to be able to help you. But it is what it is. We all know in college sports today, you don't get a lot of time. You got to produce. You got to win some games. Ironically, I looked at something yesterday. Beamer at Virginia Tech. It took him 6 years to have a 6-win season, and then he went 13 straight years with double-digit wins. But that's hard to see that nowadays. And so we recognize the fact that you got to put a competitive product on the field. You got to bring guys in that are going to help you win. We feel like we met some needs with the 17 guys that we brought in, and then we'll see at the end of this semester. We got another period of transfers to see if what we want to bring in and to try to help our team. But we are much further along compared to last year, so that's certainly positive. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.